today we're cooking again, but I want to start this video by saying that this is not for kids, okay? We are making Kahlua and amaretto. There is alcohol involved in our activities today.
These are Christmas gifts.
Right. So if that offends you, if you've got kids and you don't want your kids to see it, turn off the video and don't watch this. If you're here for fun, alcohol-filled activities, then welcome. We're gonna have some fun today and also in several weeks because this is a process that takes
some time.
So currently, what day is it? October 31st. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween. We are getting our Kahlua and amaretto started today. Well, not exactly true. We're starting our Kahlua tonight. We will start amaretto probably tomorrow or later this week.
Yeah. But
they have to sit on the vanilla beans for several weeks. So we're starting the process tonight. We'll finish it closer to what, Thanksgiving, Christmas?
Yeah.
So how do we start, Mom?
Start by making some really strong coffee.
All right, let's go there. We're gonna brew some coffee. We've got a filter in our coffee maker and we're using decaf coffee just because this stuff is already leaded enough. It doesn't need to have extra caffeine in it.
Correct. Because it's gonna be revved up with something else.
Correct.
We just need 4 cups of coffee, but I make it really, really strong. So usually you use 1 scoop
per 2 cups.
So we're gonna use 4 for 2 cups.
Wow, okay, so you're making 4 cups, so that's gonna be 8 scoops.
Yep. But I'm gonna just make 2 at a time.
Because you don't want to overfill your filter.
Right.
Cool. So we're making really, really strong coffee because it's gonna be diluted with other kinds of yummy stuff.
So I've got 4 cups of sugar here.
And your 2 cups of coffee.
And my 2 cups of coffee.
Strong coffee.
Strong coffee. And I'm gonna make 2 more cups of strong coffee.
All right, and this is hot coffee going on the sugar because we want the sugar to dissolve. That's the idea. Forgive the gurgling sounds, we're brewing coffee. Here is the original recipe card from Avis Boyce, right?
California, Missouri.
Yeah, beautiful penmanship. So here's what we need. We have coffee and sugar in there. We're making more coffee. We have a glass jug. Usually we let our Kahlua and amaretto sit in a glass jug like this for several weeks. We got 30 days on a vanilla bean just so we can get all of the yummy flavor out of the vanilla bean. We mix it in here because we have a wide mouth so we can stir, which is necessary because that sugar in there does not want to dissolve. It doesn't matter how hot your coffee is, it just does not want to dissolve. We've got some light corn syrup. We have some vanilla. And we have some Everclear.
You can use a high-end vodka as well.
But tell us why. Why do you use
the Everclear? Because it's 190 proof.
And what does that do?
It's strong enough alcohol content that you don't have to worry about shelf life.
Right. So nothing's gonna grow in here
because the alcohol content. Because
that will kill it. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be refrigerated, and you don't have to worry about something like mold growing in here because that's gonna kill it off. And we're missing a vanilla bean, aren't we?
We're missing 1 vanilla bean.
We need 1 vanilla bean for this guy. Because we're making 1 gallon?
Yeah, 2 gallons.
We're making 2 gallons. Okay. So 4 cups of coffee.
It'll be 8 cups of coffee, 8 cups of sugar, 2 of these Karo syrups.
64 ounces of Karo syrup. And then are we adding any hot water to this?
Yes, we do.
How much hot water?
4 cups.
All right. This process is fascinating to me. We've made Kahlua and amaretto since I was little, and I used to give it away. You know, she would send me into a building, here, take this to, you know, so-and-so in there. And I used to watch Mom make this stuff, but still watching her make it is fascinating because she doesn't think that anything is a big deal. Like, she just added the Karo syrup and didn't say anything, and I just think that it's so cool because she's got coffee brewing, she's got 1,000 things going on, and I just kind of cleared off the countertop and I'm sitting down to get out of her way. Tell me what's in the plastic thing.
This has got a first batch in it. This has got the second batch in it. I just like to get.
But you added the Karo to that one.
Yeah.
And you have not to that.
The sugar was all dissolved in here.
Okay.
And it's not quite in this one, so it's not ready for it yet.
So that's just sugar and coffee.
It's just sugar and coffee so far.
And that's sugar, coffee, and corn
One
syrup.
Yep. This needs the vanilla and the Everclear.
And a vanilla bean. Or do you just put the vanilla bean in the jug?
I just put the vanilla bean in the jug. I like to split it long ways because it's easier to get out of the jug.
True.
It's easier to get out. And it just slides right out of the glass jar. And then I will filter it because, you know, you
The
see
vanilla
the little,
beans kind of looks like coffee beans or coffee grounds.
What do they call that?
Caviar.
Yeah, the vanilla caviar. And so you see that in your glass jar and you're thinking, what is that stuff on the bottom? Well,
It's vanilla.
Could be coffee and it could be the vanilla caviar.
Yeah, when I poured the coffee, or when you poured the coffee in there and I was stirring it into the sugar, I noticed that there were some coffee grounds in there. Not that that's a big deal, but some people might think it's a big deal. So it's always better to filter it. But,
And we'll filter, we filter it.
but that comes later, not now.
I used to put it, you know, in the glass jars, and then I would put it in a great big cooler. Do you remember that? And I would filter it as I put it in the cooler. I would put
Yes! One of those like Gatorade jugs that like the,
I would put a filter in
It's sort of like a keg, but not.
I'd put a filter in here, and I would just put it over the big Gatorade
Cooler,
jug, and then I would pour the jugs into the big Gatorade thing, so I would filter it.
So it was easy to dispense.
Yeah, and then I had that little spigot
into the little jars.
Bottles. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I totally forgot you did that until you said that. I've done a truly terrible job of showing you anything. No, it's true. I haven't shown anything. I've given updates of now we've got this, and the level in that keeps going up. We've got a mess on the counter. So we have
our coffee pot.
Well, yeah, it leaks. It leaks, but it's making more coffee right now. So what's in there? Give us another update.
This is sugar.
How much?
8 cups.
Okay.
This is 232 ounces of corn syrup.
So 64 ounces of corn syrup.
And the 6 cups of strong coffee.
And we're going to put 2 more cups of strong brewed coffee in there.
Yep.
Is it warm? Is it warm to the touch?
Yeah, it's warm.
Sort of. Warm enough to dissolve the sugar mostly.
It's not gritty. I like putting the sugar in first and then the hot coffee.
Because it dissolves the sugar.
And then before I put the rest of my coffee in, going ahead and getting the Karo syrup mixed in, or it's just really too hard to stir.
So what goes in next? What's our next step? Maybe I'll show that.
I'm going to put this in next. The coffee's almost done.
Okay, so we've got Everclear.
And we need 2 of these because we're going to make we're going to make 2 gallons.
So this is a double batch.
Yeah, this is a double batch.
And we've kind of called an audible a little bit. We usually put our Kahlua to rest in one of these. Somewhere in the move, probably, question mark, we've lost one of our jugs. So we're down one. So we only have 3. And I think we're just going to leave our Kahlua to sit in this for several weeks.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be easier anyway. You can see the Kahlua or the Everclear on top because it doesn't want to stir in because the coffee syrup is so thick. So much thicker. But it'll work in.
Oh yeah.
In time. It'll all work in. So she just poured a second one of these in, and while she was doing that, I was reading this label back here, and let's see if I can get it to focus. With a neutral profile and a unique ability to extract flavor, Everclear is your liquid canvas, a clean slate and an open invitation to make it your own. And they've got a link to a website, Mom, so they even expect you to make something fun with it. I bet you could make a really killer pumpkin spice liqueur with it.
I wonder if they have a recipe for amaretto or Kahlua on their website.
I don't know. I'll go check it out and
report back.
Yep, I'll be right back. Here's an action shot. She's pouring vanilla extract. She needs a half a cup for a double batch.
There we go.
Or 4 ounces, but that's half a cup. And that goes in. And she did get all of the Everclear mixed in.
Yeah.
She's been doing some taste testing along the way, which is important.
Yeah.
Because you need to know if your coffee is strong enough or if it's too bitter. Also, I went to the Everclear Make It Your Own website, and they do have lots and lots of recipes, tips. It's kind of cool. And now she's adding hot water that looks brown because she's been using...
Yeah, because I'm just using the one I used.
It had the vanilla in it, so whatever. So hot water.
2 cups of hot water. Oh, and I need the vanilla bean. I cut him in half. This is half. I already cut the other half.
Well, he's kind of old and brittle.
Yeah, but the flavor's still there. He's just a little dry. But he's going to moisten up. And he'll release his flavor and caviar into...
So you open it up because the outside of the vanilla bean is kind of hard to...
Hard shell.
Yeah, so you want to open it up so that the flavor can come out.
Yeah.
And then, are you just crumbling him in there?
Yeah.
Because he's so dry?
He's dry.
So he's just going to sit in there for 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
3, 4 weeks, yeah. Till after Thanksgiving when we can...
Yeah, approximately 30-ish days. So now we're going to put a lid on this guy. But we will see you, or you'll see us, an hour tomorrow when we start our amaretto, because the truth is we've made 6 trips to the grocery store in the last 2 days. She's made 3, I've made 2, and Emma made 1.
I had the list. Everything was on the list. I didn't get everything on the list, but I don't like shopping on the weekends because it's so distracting. There are so many people at the store.
Well, we're under a lot of stress. We're succeeding in life, guys. We're doing really, really well over here, and everything is a-okay. We're thriving and succeeding, and nothing is wrong. Send help. Anyway, so I'm gonna go to the grocery store again tomorrow and get some brown sugar so we can make our amaretto. The dogs are barking, it's chaos. But it's really nice because it's like 68 degrees outside and breezy and sunny and beautiful. So we've had all the windows open in the house all weekend, and it's just been stunningly beautiful and fresh. But that's gonna be it for us for tonight. I will pick you guys up when we're ready to make amaretto, hopefully this week.
Hopefully.
With any luck.
It's the next night and she is still wearing the same sweatshirt for those of you who did not notice.
Yeah, if you noticed, keen eye. If you didn't notice and you don't care, congratulations.
Yay,
you have reached and achieved indifference, and I'm proud of you. What are we making tonight?
Amaretto.
Yay!
And this really is a homemade amaretto with a homemade recipe. Many years ago, gosh, maybe before the turn of the century, I love saying that, before the turn of the century, a friend gave me her recipe for the Kahlua. And I got so many friends that like the Kahlua, but several that like amaretto. And I thought, well, gosh, you can make Kahlua. Why can't you make amaretto? So I just kind of extrapolated and guessed.
So this is all your recipe?
This is all mine. I cannot imagine that there's not one on the internet, but to be honest, I have not looked one up.
And we're gonna put another one on the internet, so that's what this is gonna be.
Yeah. Okay, so my almond flavored liqueur has the grain alcohol, hot water, sugar,
White sugar?
2 different kinds.
White sugar and brown sugar.
I like that kind of caramely flavor that
Me
you
too.
get with the brown sugar, and I really like that pretty brown color. The first time I made it with white sugar, and I thought, that's not right.
It looks like simple syrup.
Yeah. And then the second time I put 1 cup of brown sugar in it, and I thought, oh, that's close. And the third time it's half and half. Half brown sugar, half white.
How long have you been making this? How many years?
Maybe like a year since the Kahlua, so since you were younger.
Okay, because it feels like it's at least 20 years, right?
Yeah, I think it was probably around the turn of the century when I started making it.
Okay.
I really like the almond extract from Watkins. I used to be one of those Watkins dealers.
So you could buy from yourself?
Yeah, so I could buy for myself, and I would sell it to the staff, and I would sell it to friends at church. And I don't know, I don't have so many people that want to get it from me anymore, and my membership has
expired.
Yeah, I was going to say has passed, but my membership has expired, so I don't have that anymore. But anyway, I still really like Watkins flavorings, seasonings, and spices.
Well, and we still have a cabinet full of them that we should probably use before we buy a whole bunch more.
Correct.
And then is that vanilla over there?
Then this is vanilla, and of course, did I say Karo syrup? Not Karo syrup.
Corn
syrup.
Light corn syrup.
Light corn syrup. And it is important for the light corn syrup You don't want the extra flavor that comes in the dark corn syrup. I made this amaretto a couple of years and finally got the sugar right, but I just felt like it was missing something to help it. And so I started putting in a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of fresh lemon zest. And I think that really just makes it pop. Of course, it needs a vanilla bean. And we looked locally at our grocery stores for vanilla beans, and they were not great.
$10 for one vanilla bean.
And you can just tell by the way it's rattling around in there, it's really hard.
It's petrified like one of those dried chilies, and that's not what you want.
And that's all we had that we put in the Kahlua. But
last night.
That she ordered these.
On Amazon. That's supposed to be 10 vanilla beans.
And I can just tell by touching, it's a, what do you call it?
Gooey.
So it's a... not zip tie, it's a...
Vacuum sealed?
Yeah, there we go.
It's a vacuum sealed package of vanilla beans.
It's a vacuum sealed package of vanilla beans.
And they're really plump in there.
Oh my gosh, it just feels like these are going to be really nice.
And that's supposed to be 10 vanilla beans, and it was $15 plus free one-day delivery to our house. So I just think that's a much better deal. I can hardly wait to open them and see what's going on in there and put another one of these nice ones in our Kahlua.
I agree.
Because I think that'll help the Kahlua.
All right, I like to put the sugars in first and get them dissolved in the hot water.
Right, because for Kahlua we made hot coffee. We don't have hot coffee for this because there's no coffee in here.
So you got it. Your liquid, of course, is boiling water.
Right.
And I need 6 cups.
6 cups of very, very hot water.
Hot water.
Do we stir, stir, stir?
Yes, we do.
It's time. Stir, stir, stir. Look at that pretty color. And that's just brown sugar.
Yeah.
Like we haven't put any vanilla in there yet.
No. But I like that caramely brown, pretty color.
Is this another double batch? So
yes.
You've doubled the recipe. You're making 2 gallons?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm getting my facial while I'm waiting over this.
All your glasses are fogged up. So more sugar, more water. And you stir, stir, stir some more.
Because we want to get it all into solution. Then we take our corn syrup. These are actually different kinds of glucose. Did you know that? That's why the sweetening is different.
That's why the flavor's different?
That's why the flavor's different between sugar and corn syrup.
Is white sugar and brown sugar the same kind of glucose?
Yeah, but one of them I think has molasses in it.
But corn syrup is different. So right now we just have some very, very sweet, brown, simple syrup.
Yep.
So it's water, sugar, brown sugar, and corn syrup.
Yep.
Now we're gonna make it amaretto, right?
I'll put the almond flavor in it next. And I need 12 ounces.
12 ounces is a cup and a half.
Of course, do a little taste test here after a while and see.
Of course, because if we need more, we have a little bit extra that we could add. But tasting, I can smell it.
Can you smell that?
That smells so good.
Flavor. I need 4 tablespoons of vanilla. So 2 for each.
Is 4.
And I need 4.
1.
Whoops.
2, 3,
4.
4. Getting the last dregs.
Because sometimes there can be quite a bit.
Several tablespoons left in as residual. So
we need Everclear and we need the lemon zest yet. It has kind of a milky look to the top of it when the alcohol is going in it.
Yes, it does.
And that's just the way it looks.
That's normal.
I'm sure there's a little bit of a chemical reaction and maybe some bonds being broken or being formed there. When we stir it, that will disappear.
Carefully, because you don't want to splash it all over the floor, because that's waste of a good amaretto.
Yeah. A good almond flavored liqueur.
Sure.
Excuse us. All right, and then I'm going to put the lemon zest in there.
How much?
Some. A good amount.
Is it the zest of 1 lemon, 2 lemons?
It's the zest of 2 because this is a double batch.
Now,
I will filter this out.
That's what I was gonna ask, because
Yeah.
that's leaving chunks in there.
I'm
Ew.
sure it won't, I won't get it all out, but it is just lemon zest.
If you
There's
strain it
no-
through like a coffee filter, you
Yeah.
can get everything out.
Yeah, you might get most of it out. And I know some of the caviar from the
Vanilla beans.
bean is going to be left in there.
Oh yeah, we still need to do that, guy. Mmm.
Now, if you taste it and you feel like, oh, it's not peppy enough, it's not bright enough, you can put some of the lemon juice in there. And we're going to get us a spoon and take a sample. I think that's pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I think you'll get enough lemon
From the
out of that
zest.
zest.
Mm-hmm.
I usually like to make these recipes around the end of October so I can pour them off into jars around the 1st of December.
And give them away as Christmas gifts.
And I don't give away like a fifth.
No.
We give away like a small
Bottle like this
I
size.
actually used to use these.
Yeah.
And people thought that
Actually,
that was pretty cool.
This is 11 ounces. We used to use 8-ounce bottles. I remember buying those because I remember doing the Amazon shopping for that. So smaller than that, like little tasters.
Yeah, and it's a fine small amount that, you know, I've had a lot of people tell me I use that in my coffee on Christmas morning, or, you know, we celebrated with that at midnight on New Year's Eve, and it, you know, I just always thought that was really nice because it made me feel like even though I wasn't there, they made me a part of their celebration.
Yeah, and it's a really special gift, and it's pretty
I
easy
hear
to
from
make.
people that have had it for some time and tell me that, you know, that they celebrated something special, and even though they're only getting a really small vessel of it, it just was really meaningful to them.
Well, and it tastes good. It's a special gift. We need to get the dogs to stop barking, and then we need to cut up our vanilla beans. I wanted to show these vanilla beans. We're only going to use one for the amaretto, and then we need
a double batch. We get two.
Oh, we get two, and we need another one for the Kahlua.
Yeah.
But look how pretty they are. They are really almost
Beautiful.
oily, and that's what you want. You want them to be kind of juicy,
and soft.
pliable. They are perfect.
We're gonna keep them. Well, there's a really small one. Let me
That's
have.
little guy.
Yeah.
So-
I'm gonna put these in here and tape this shut, and then I'm gonna put this in here.
All right, so we're gonna keep the vanilla beans in their package, in a Ziploc bag, in the freezer, label it, but then these are gonna get to have a really long bath. Hello.
All right, these guys here go in the amaretto.
Look at that. See, that's what you want it to look like. You don't
That's
want
what
it
you want
to
it
crumble.
to break apart like that. And the caviar, I don't know if you can zoom in on this, is inside of here. And I'll scrape a little bit of it just so you can see. That,
When you get a vanilla bean ice cream, that is the specks.
the little flecks, it looks almost like tiny pieces of pepper.
or teeny tiny coffee grounds, but it's vanilla. So there goes
Drop
one.
it in there.
Because we're going to strain it anyway. We're going to do the same for these other guys.
That's it.
Yep.
That's
See you
really
in,
simple.
what, 4 weeks? 30 days? 30-ish days.
30-ish days.
Yep.
And we'll complete this.
Yeah. We ordered some bottles on Amazon to put the Kahlua and the amaretto in. They came in yesterday. I'm gonna go ahead and open these up, make sure that nothing's broken, and then stick them in the dishwasher just to kind of give them a little wash before we fill them up this week. Hi, it is the week before Christmas, okay? So our Kahlua and amaretto has been sitting
Patiently.
yeah, well, sitting on the vanilla bean for a very long time, and we finally have a day where we can strain it off and bottle it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be finishing it up. We do have labels. I bought them from Amazon. I don't know if I showed that. I don't know, but I'll show that later. But right now, Mom has set it up to where she's got a great big pot, and she is straining off the Kahlua amaretto.
Amaretto.
She's straining off the amaretto right now.
I like a little lemon zest.
Let me show you. She can tell you what's in it because when you strain it off, it looks a little bit funny, but let me flip you around. You don't need to see me, you need to see this. We've got our great big pot with our colander lined with some gauze.
You can use a t-shirt or cheesecloth. I just happen to have some gauze. And I put a little bit of lemon zest in my amaretto because I think it needs something to brighten it a little bit.
And it really does help more than you think that it would, unless you're very attuned to like flavor profiles.
But nobody likes to see that
gunk.
Caviar.
Yeah, so when you're straining it, it's gonna look like this. And you're thinking, ew, what's that? It's lemon zest and vanilla bean caviar. There is nothing wrong with this. This is how it's supposed to look. This is why we strain it, because you don't want that in there. It's great for getting the flavor out of it, but then, you know, when you bottle it and you give it to somebody, or when you're drinking it, you don't want to be drinking that. That's just
pulpy. Ick.
Right. You want your liquor to be smooth. That's
clear.
Kind of the point. You're not old-fashioned. We are in the 21st century. So this has been strained one time. Now she's gonna strain it again, but this time we've got this like flour sack cloth. It's actually a towel that I got from Aldi, and it was really, really cheap. It was like, I think it was $3.99 for a pack of 6 of them. And I couldn't say no because we strain so many things.
I like making homemade yogurt, and you have to strain that.
And this would be handy for like cold brew coffee because we don't have a cold brew
Strainer.
brewer kind of thing. So we're gonna dump. So, okay, we started it in here and it sat on the vanilla bean in this. We strained it into this. Now we're gonna pour this back into the original thing just so we can strain it one more time. It smells so good.
The first time I strain it with the gauze, it just gets out the big
chunks.
Pieces of lemon, and
Vanilla
this will,
bean.
yeah, vanilla bean, and this will get out the caviar.
This is much finer.
Yeah. But doesn't that list look so clear and beautiful?
And it smells so good.
Mm-hmm. Great for a cup of hot tea, or you want
An
to add
amaretto sour.
Yeah, add it to your coffee on a chilly night. Or chilly morning of Christmas.
Ta-da!
There we go.
All right, next we've got our great big vat of Kahlua, which has vanilla and coffee in it. And it's entirely possible that there are coffee beans in here in addition to the vanilla caviar.
Because I make it really strong coffee.
Time for number 2. Whee! All right, Mom is finishing straining everything off. I've got our labels over here. I did buy these mostly for the Kahlua and amaretto bottles, but I have used some of them for another project. We have so many light switches in this house that I had to label the different light switches. It helps. It helps me to know what's what. So we have used the little labels, and I will say they're very sticky, which is really nice for the bottles, and so it gave me an opportunity to test the labels. If I can find them on Amazon, I will link to them in the description box if you need labels, but I am looking forward to using them for our Kahlua and amaretto bottles. Speaking of which, they are over here in these boxes. They have all been washed. I ran them through the dishwasher. They're ready and waiting, and we have lids, and the lids are up here. Please forgive the flickering. We have this under cabinet lighting, and well, we love it when it works, but it's been doing this for a while, which is irritating. But anyway, we're gonna put the Kahlua and amaretto in these. I think they're 12-ounce bottles, I think is what I got. And I think it's a really good size because if you want to give it away, you don't want to give away a great big bottle. I like the wide mouth on it. The shape is really cool, and it's a smaller bottle. And something else that's really neat is they were made in Arkansas. Like, I don't know if you can see, but the state of Arkansas is on the bottom of the bottle. I love that. Yeah, 12 ounces is what they are. So we're gonna fill these up. I don't know if we need some more. We've got some bigger bottles because we do like to keep bigger bottles for ourselves. But to give away as gifts, the little ones are always really nice. time to fill. We've poured from there into the Pyrex with a funnel. We're just gonna fill the bottles to the neck, sort of, the shoulder, right there. Perfect. And then if we have a bunch of extra, we can always top them off from there, or we can just put it in a great big bottle for us to keep. But we like to start sort of low on the neck. Never mind. We usually like to start low on the neck just so we can go back and fill them up later, top them off and make them even.
They're so clear. I mean, it's that brown color from the coffee, but you can tell that there's no
big chunks. I will say we did, we have taste tested this. So in my little shot glass that I had, I could see there was a little bit of floating caviar in it, but that's being nitpicky, and it's homemade. So I don't think anyone should be nitpicky of homemade things. They should just be grateful. So we're gonna need more bottles.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go get another box. This is what tag teaming looks like. Mom is filling the amaretto now. I am labeling the coffee liqueur. I'm not gonna call it Kahlua. These are done. And I just think this is such a good size.
We topped them off all to the higher of the neck.
We did fill them. This one back here is a little bit full. And then we had enough left over for a big one for us, which is really, really nice. And that's why we save empty bottles, just because we know we make this like every other year or so. We don't make it every year. But I'm gonna put these, which are labeled, in the box, and then label the rest of these while Mom fills those. All right, all of our bottles are full. This one is all Kahlua. This one is half and half. This one, well, I'm sorry, coffee liqueur. This one is half and half. This one is the almond liqueur, and yes, the label is crooked, and no, I don't care at all. I told you, people should be grateful, not nitpicky for homemade gifts.
If they drink enough of it, they won't notice that the label is crooked.
That's exactly right. So that is how we make homemade coffee liqueur.
And almond flavored
almond liqueur. If you have any questions, leave them in a comment and we will try to get to them. But that's gonna be it for this Vlogmas video. You guys will see us in the next Vlogmas video. Maybe.
Maybe.
Bye everybody.